It's important to remember that when we slip out of or away from the truth, we're doing that for a good reason. It's like, our contradictions and our false opinions, just like the mind, they're not bad guys. The mind is a brilliant evolutionary development. Rational thinking, calculative, predictive, analytical thinking it's a miracle. But the mind also has certain limitations where if you are identified with the mind, that's the problem. It's not the mind, it's identification with that. If you identify with that, then it becomes the master, and that's not a good idea. Because the mind is not really constituted to recognize truth. The mind is like a probability machine.
Why is it not constituted to recognize truth?
Because anything can be true. It doesn't tell you what is true. Anything can be good or might be good, and that's as far as the mind can get. It doesn't tell you what is good. It doesn't tell you what is true. Like, for example, suppose you're uncertain, confused about whether to take a certain job offer. Your mind is not going to be able to tell you the truth there. Your heart can, the heart knowing, the body knowing, the gut knowing. That's a different faculty, and that's where the truth lives. And that's the right tool for the job. But if you go up into the mind, it's going to go into this series of narratives that are completely bound by probability thinking. It's going to say, well, you could take the job, and then A, B, C, and D would follow. And here are some really good reasons why you should take the job. On the other hand, the mind's favorite word is but. So as soon as you're starting to feel pretty good about that direction, you want to say, on the other hand, here are the costs involved, and this is what you'll lose by doing that. And maybe it's not such a good idea. And so you start getting attracted to that line of thinking, that narrative. And then as soon as you're starting to feel like maybe you won't take the job, the mind says, but, and starts looking at other things. This is what the mind does. It's like a incredible, brilliant, living probability machine. And it just cranks out what you might do, what you could do. It doesn't tell you what you should do. It can't tell you, because it doesn't recognize the difference between real and imaginary. If you imagine sucking on a lemon, you'll start salivating. You'll start having physiological reactions as though you're sucking on a physical lemon. The mind doesn't have any ontological red light that goes off on the dashboard to say, oh, this exists. This is the truth. It just says it could be. And so if the mind is your master, you're kind of stuck, because you'll never be able to get beyond what you might do or could do. There's a deeper knowing, which will tell you where the good is. The Greeks called it the daimon. It lives in the body. It's not human. They saw it as placed there by the gods at birth, that it's a divine spark, or a spark of divine presence and knowing and wisdom. And so everybody has it, and almost nobody listens to it or checks in with it. But it's an unfailing guide, and it will tell you what your truth is, the truth of the situation for you, and it won't take any thinking. Thinking is highly overrated. But yeah, it's good servant, no doubt.